All right. So, good morning, everyone who has joined us for the Symposium 2020. It's the first of its kind webinar that is happening, and Endeavor Careers is doing this live. And we are talking about new age career options that the students have after class 12. A lot of prestigious speakers are just about to join us, and they would speak one by one about their various courses, the eligibility, the paper patterns, how to take admissions, what about the placements. Also, because of the current situation where we are all locked down in our houses, like I had never thought I would be hosting a webinar out of all things from my own house and talking about the new age career options. So while this situation persists and we all are responsible students, responsible citizens of this country, a lot of changes are expected even in the admission processes. So, what happens in this situation of this pandemic, this COVID-19 situation, right? So, while we wait for the speakers to join us, why is this webinar important, if you may ask? It's extremely important because if I talk about India itself, there are a little over 1.5 crore students who appear for their 12th standard, their HSC exams every year. And you would be surprised if I tell you the amount of students from these 1.5 crore students who actually know about the various career options that are available to them. If you have any guesses, you are free to comment. But this number is extremely unbelievable. Out of the 1.5 crore students that appear for their 12th standard exams, it's a mere 5% who know about the various career options that are actually available to them for their graduation, for their post graduation. And this scenario is extremely worrisome because what happens is that when you don't know about the career options available to you, you tend to choose from whatever is available. And then when you choose something that you are not interested in, that is a vicious circle that just keeps on following. You do a graduation, you do a post graduation, you get placed at a job where you are probably interested, not interested, and you just don't figure out what's happening. So it's the need of the hour to do a webinar like this, which is called Symposium 2020, New Age Career Options After Class 12, 2020 and beyond. So for the next 2 hours, you're going to interact with eminent speakers from across the country. There are people joining us from IIM Indore, Symbiosis Pune, Ahmedabad University, GNLU, and you would get to know a lot about all these courses and the options that are available to you. So while we wait for the first speaker, um, Symposium 2020 is a webinar that is aimed at connecting students. I'm sure there are a lot of parents who have joined us and teachers of various schools, because what happens is when we talk about these career options, um, leave alone students, there are parents and teachers as well who are confused about what to choose for their children and what happens when a career choice is made. Um, so yeah, as we wait for our first speaker to join us, who is from IIM Indore, there is a little announcement that I would like to make here. If at all, while the speaker is speaking, or apart from that, if you have any questions that you want to ask the speaker, please feel free to WhatsApp us. Our number is 9099720214. I'll repeat that. Get a pen and a paper handy or note it down in your mobile phone. While the speaker is speaking, or even otherwise, if you have any questions for our speakers or any general questions that you think the speaker has not covered and you want an answer to that, please feel free to WhatsApp us. Our number is 9099720214. We're going to talk about the various career options that are available to us after our class 12, 2020 and beyond, because every year the options keep on changing and it does get a bit confusing about what the right career option is. So waiting for our first speaker, who is Dr. Radha Ladkani. She's from IIM Indore. Um, they've joined us. And if I introduce Dr. Radha Ladkani, first of all, welcome. On behalf of Endeavor Careers, I am extremely grateful that you have joined us for this webinar and you have agreed to talk to our students, parents, and teachers about the various career options that are available to them after class 12. So, Dr. Radha Ladkani, here's a virtual welcome to you, ma'am. Um,
Hi, thank you very much.
So if I introduce Dr. Alkani, she has done her fellow program in management, which is equivalent to a PhD from IIM Kolkata. She has to accredit a lot of academic publications, conference presentations, and she's also reviewed and edited books, journals from her field of finance and accounting. So, Radha ma'am, over to you. This is the first of its kind Symposium 2020 that we are doing online for the students of classes 10th, 11th, and 12th. And we're looking at talking about the various career options that are available to them. So, over to you, Radha ma'am.
Okay, hi. Thank you very much, Aditi, and thank you for others. Satya has been in touch, so thank you very much for getting in touch regarding this. Can we start with our presentation? And then, as and when you have some queries or some specific points to maybe discuss, or you would like me to elaborate on something, I would like to take that up. So, will that be fine, Aditi ji?
That's perfect, ma'am. That's perfect. So we have asked for the students who have joined us to WhatsApp their questions to us. So I would just repeat the number here. It's 9099720214. And I would go off the camera. So over to you now.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What was the number that you quoted?
It's 9099.
What is that for?
It's for the students to send in their questions if they have any for you. So we would take that up in the question and answer session. So don't worry
Okay.
about that.
Okay, so students are also logging in through their phones by dialing in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, great. Okay.
Over to you, ma'am. Yeah.
So let me start sharing the presentation, a brief presentation that I have for you all. Um, Also, Aditi and other participants, we have two students who I hope this particular presentation is visible to you. Is it?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Great, great. So there are two students, I think Ridhan and Palak, who must have logged in as well. So if they are in the waiting room, I would request you to let them in, because there is one part of student activities that I would request them to talk about. So it would be nice if Aditi, that could be enabled. Okay, so let me give you a quick overview of one of the flagship programs of integrated program, and one of the flagship programs of IIM Indore, which is the integrated program in management, IPM. As you all know, this is a 5-year integrated program, and our objective in having this program is that we try to, or we aim to produce contextually relevant, socially conscious, and also leaders and managers and people who are willing to hold positions of responsibility, uh, who have wonderful education, world-class education in foundations of management, primarily in social sciences, and then followed by an MBA, the classic management education. This particular program, IPM, was launched back in 2011. The first batch of IPM graduated back in 2016. And we try to attract youths, young students with aspirations related to managerial positions, or youth who have managerial and leadership aspirations. Um, I would walk you through a quick walk you through the program structure, and also briefly talk about the batch size. Um, 5 years, so we have 15 terms spread over these 5 years, and each year would have 3 terms. So we follow the trimester system, and one term is approximately 3 months long. In the first 3 years, the aim is to build foundation. So foundation in the core disciplines that uh, that really are the foundational disciplines for the study of management. And then in the last 2 years, we focus on management studies, the MBA program. At the end of the 5 years, the participants, those who successfully complete the program requirements, the participants would be eligible for the award of Bachelor of Arts BA Foundations of Management. And this would be under the dual degree program, as well as MBA, um, the master in Master of Business Administration under the dual degree program. And this would be on the successful completion of the 5 years. Um, for this particular year, which is the batch that will join in 2020, our sanctioned intake is 150 students. Let me talk about briefly um, the first 3 years, and then also let me talk about some key features of the program, and then briefly talk about the fourth and the fifth year as well. So the first 3 years, like we said, our aim is to have some um, wide variety of courses which help students have some foundation in the core disciplines on which the study of management is based. And hence, we try to cover all those aspects in three different, through the three different major elements. One set of courses is in mathematics. So you have courses in mathematics, statistics, economics, and the courses in these subjects in these areas help students develop the analytical rigor. And we have seen as they go forward in this 5 year journey, and maybe later when they are ready to graduate, this particular feature of analytical rigor is highly appreciated um, at the places where they go to, right? So, including the workplaces, including the recruiters, appreciate this part a lot. Um, in addition to the courses in math, stats, and economics, mathematics, statistics, and economics, the students also do courses in psychology, sociology, and political science alongside the courses in economics. And these are the courses that help them understand the core disciplines on which, like I said earlier, on which the study of management is based. Then you also have other courses in humanities, including courses in literature, communication, courses in information technology, and performing arts. So, pardon me there, it's performing arts. And this provides breadth and perspective to students. So, our first 3 years would be the core courses for first 2 years. Of the first 3 years, the first 2 years are all core courses in the areas that I talked about: economics, mathematics, statistics, sociology, psychology, political science, and also core courses in the areas of communication and information technology. In the first year, students get to do courses in, um, these are optional, but again, it's mandatory for the students to take one of the options, and these would be courses in music, dance, and drama. And in the second year, again, the students have to choose one of the few foreign languages that we offer. So this would be, say, German, Spanish, and French. So students get to do foreign languages as well, one of the four foreign languages as well in the second year. The third year primarily comprises courses which, a bunch of courses, an array of courses from which the students can select their courses. So you have an array of electives, not mandatory courses, rather elective courses that students can pick from in the third year. That's primarily the composition of the third year. There are other features to the first 3 years as well. So I'll talk about that. So basically, after the 3 years of intensive study of these foundational disciplines, the students then graduate to the PGP, the 2-year postgraduate program in management, in the fourth and the fifth year. And there the students get to take the same course package, yeah, as it is offered to the regular MBA students, as offered to the regular PGP students. So to sum up this part of the program overview, I would say that combination of analytical rigor and the breadth of exposure that students get through other courses that we talked about, it actually equips them for leadership roles and also important positions of responsibilities in different sectors. Um, Other key features. So we talked about courses, we talked about core courses, we talked about the wide exposure students get through other courses in different disciplines, and we also talked about some electives. But in addition to these classroom courses, at the end of the second year, students are required to go for a social internship. And the objective of this social internship is, one, we would like them to apply their learning from different disciplines to some real life social problem. So, in reality, students do get to work on a specific social problem. And if the scope of the project allows them to, they may be able to not only be aware of a social problem, a specific social problem, but also they may be in a position to recommend some solution, or they may be in a position to recommend some ways of, say, improving the status quo. So that is a possibility. And the students get to take these internships with corporate social responsibility wings of companies, of or with NGOs, with academic institutions, with research institutions, or with think tanks. And like I said, in addition to the one objective I mentioned earlier, which was application of their interdisciplinary learning to some real life problem, another objective that we try to achieve through these internships is that they get to understand some basic social issues that beset the society. And this makes them more socially conscious, this makes them more socially aware. And in my slide at the beginning, I said that our objective is to develop socially conscious and contextually relevant managers. Then, through social internship, we are actually trying to um, inculcate this social consciousness, social awareness in the students at a very, very young age, so that in the future, when they become managers or when they hold positions of responsibilities, they are able to make sustainable business decisions. They are able to make socially responsible choices. So this is an important feature which a social internship, and this would be almost 6 to 8 weeks long, which students have to mandatorily undertake at the end of the second year. Uh, in addition to the social internship, at the end of the third year, first 3 years, when the students complete the foundational courses, the BA foundational of management courses, at the end of the first 3 years, select students, whoever is eligible, those students, whoever are eligible, they get to take sabbatical. Now, sabbatical is a leave a student can take. Those students who are eligible can take a leave for 1 year or 2 years. And our objective is, in that 1 year or 2 years, students go and get some work experience, or they get to work on their own venture, on their own business enterprise. And they can come back after 1 year or 2 years and then join the fourth and the fifth year of the program, the PGP, postgraduate program, at the end of the in the fourth year. right? So our objective is that we offer this sabbatical to select students who qualify and to select part of the batch, and they get to spend this 1 year or 2 year to get some work experience and then come back and join the MBA program. In addition to this, students indeed have to do a business internship at the end of the 4th year, which happens for the regular MBA students as well. And this would be distinct from the social internship that I talked about, which students have to do at the end of the 2nd year. Business internship would come at the end of the 4th year. Um, when they join the 4th year and the 5th year, they also get to again engage with rural areas in and around Madhya Pradesh. And this program of ours is called as Rural Engagement Program. And here, over a span of few days, students actually spend time in some rural areas and actually work on some problem or um, uh, some issue that needs to be addressed, or that could be considered, or that could be looked at. And also they try to, like I said earlier, if the scope of the project permits them to, they may also recommend some solutions in the rural engagement program. Uh, in the 4th and the 5th year, students also get to go on a Himalayan outbound program, and this would be over a span of few days in the month of around October for a particular academic year. And again, the objective through for our objective for Himalayan outbound program would be that students become more aware of the surroundings, more aware and also conscious of the environmental, and they are able to understand, um, they are able to engage with the environment outside a setting which is within the bounds of a campus. Um, an important feature is the foreign exchange program. So students have an option of studying a term or trimester with our partner university, one of the partner universities, and students have this option in either in the first 3 years. In the 3rd year, one term is in fact uh, in the 3rd year, one term could be spent at a foreign university, one of our partner universities. Either they do it in the first 3 years once, or they get to go on exchange in the 5th year, which is the MBA part of the program. So so that is also an added feature of this particular program. Um, some marquee recruiters, IPM students have become more and more not only acceptable, but more and more, in one way, if I'm fair to say this, popular with some of our marquee recruiters. And here is an indicative list of recruiters who have taken IPM students in the past and in the recent year. Um, I would like our student participant to talk about student activities if they are present. I would like to check with Miss Aditi. I think we have Palak here, and we also might have Rizin. So whoever wants to take it up, Palak, either you or Rizin can talk about the student activities. Would you like to take over from here?
Yeah, hi. Good morning. I hope I'm audible. So I'm Palak from the IPM Media, PR and Industry Outreach Committee, and I would like to briefly take you through the student initiatives here at IPM. So like us, there are a number of other committees, clubs, and special interest groups that comprise entirely of students, and this body is called the Student Activity Council. So we're essentially responsible for conducting all extracurricular activities, events, and competitions in which students across batches participate, develop, and showcase their talents and skills. So even handling large sums of money that go into organizing these competitions is done by students themselves. These clubs and committees also give the students a voice regarding matters such as their academics and infrastructure. Further, being part of such student bodies develops leadership and organizational skills in students. So apart from the Student Activity Council, IPMers also conduct Athar, that is Central India's largest management and cultural fest, and Ranbhoomi, which is a sports fest. These fests, though they may be nascent, they attract great participations and over the years have garnered a combined footfall of more than 50,000. These serve as an excellent opportunity for participants to interact with the outside world, corporates or otherwise, and help them understand how to negotiate, deal, and communicate as contextually relevant leaders. The autonomy to explore new possibilities in IPM is unparalleled to any other course, and the SAC and the fests are just two of the such countless avenues. I'd like to hand over back to Radha ma'am.
Thank you, Palak. So that is from our side, Miss Aditi and Mr. Mehta. So in case you have questions, feel free to ask. We'll be willing to answer them.
Thank you so much, Radha ma'am and Palak, for sharing your insights with us about IPM, about IIM Indore. And I think it's really exciting. So I am going back to my student days and wish I had all these opportunities of interacting with stalwarts like you so that I could have taken a more informed decision. Coming to the questions, I think I have two questions that the students have raised. One, Radha ma'am, is that will IIM Indore take care of our CBSE exam dates while rescheduling IPMAT?
It's already on the website. The IPM deadline for submission of the application is extended. The date for IPM 80, which was originally scheduled at the end of April, is now that has been moved as well. So as whenever we have that information on when the exam, the admission test is going to be held, we will post that on our website. For students who have already submitted their applications, they are likely to get their information in their inboxes as well. But do keep track of the website. We will make that announcement when the admission test will happen.
Perfect. So for the dates, you could check out IIM Indore's website, or you could also alternatively visit Endeavor Careers website. Ma'am, there is another question that someone has raised. It says, why does IPMAT paper questions, which are biased towards maths background students, is it that IIM Indore wants students who are good with maths?
So if you go through the criteria based on which the criteria for admission, right? If you have gone through this, what makes you eligible is anybody, any student who has appeared for class 12, HSC or equivalent can apply. And then you have the three stages, as you are aware of. Generally speaking, we have admission test, the paper that you're talking about, then a WAT, written aptitude test, and PI. So whoever qualifies that is, would be considered. So it's not that we prefer one versus another. Everybody gets to appear for the same type of admission. And like I said, whoever is done class 12 or equivalent is eligible to apply.
Thank you so much. I think these are the questions that have reached me as of now, and also looking at the time, I think we would like to kind of round up. Or there is just one more question. Is there suitable leverage given for sports like a football team, ma'am? A parent is asking this for the child.
So I think there is one form that you have to submit when the deadline has been extended. In that, you do have to talk about some extracurricular activities that the student has participated, the potential candidate has participated in. So feel free to elaborate that in that portion, right?
Perfect. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think this was a wonderful session. The students and the parents who have joined us would definitely have benefited out of it. Thank you so much on behalf of the entire Endeavor team for joining us. Thank you to your students as well for joining us this
Yes.
morning.
Thank you very much, Aditi. Um, uh, yes, my best wishes to everybody. We are indeed living in uncertain time. So best wishes to everybody. Thank you very much, Aditi. I'll log out now. Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you, Palak.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for listening to Dr. Rata, ma'am. This is Symposium 2020, where we are talking about the new age career options that are available to the students of standard 10th, 11th, and 12th. A lot of parents have joined us, and a lot of students who are enthusiastic about choosing the right career for themselves have joined us this morning. Our next speaker for the day is Dr. Parag Patel, who is the Associate Dean of UG Programs, Ahmedabad University. So, on behalf of the entire Endeavor team, I welcome you, Dr. Patel, to this webinar, which is like the first of its kind happening, where we are talking to the students live. So, I virtually welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Um, if I introduce Dr. Parag Patel, he has over 2 decades of experience in teaching and research. He has an MPhil in accountancy, PhD in equity investment decisions from GU, and he has a program done in international business from the University of Cambridge. Introductions will never stop because it's a long, long, and very distinguished profile. But over to you, Dr. Parag Patel, where you can introduce various courses and various other processes to the students and parents who have joined us. So thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you, Aditi. First and foremost, I welcome all of you virtually and thank Endeavor to create this wonderful platform amidst this unprecedented times for the world. We have not faced such a grave black swan event in the history of humankind. See, unprecedented challenges do disrupt everything, including education. The key question is, are our institutions ready? You know what this COVID makes us feel, COVID-19 makes us feel and reiterates that no challenges are unidisciplinary, and hence the solutions have to be interdisciplinary. If you want to solve such challenges, you will need interdisciplinarity at the heart of education. Recently, we have participated in the number one need, which is ventilators. So it's a typical challenge where you need to achieve scale at a reasonable cost and ensure a great supply chain, which helps sending the ventilators where they are needed the most. To overcome this challenge or to solve this problem, we will need an engineer, biologist, material scientist, management expert, behavioral scientist, and all of them need to work together. I feel that currently the institutions are not imparting education on these lines. You know, most of the institutions are unidisciplined, and interdisciplinarity is not driven with the intensity with which it should have been. So new age careers will need a new approach. So most of the universities are trying to adapt to interdisciplinarity by allowing students to pick and choose courses from various disciplines, but they leave the integration of these disciplines to the students. That's where Ahmedabad University comes into picture. We have taken the responsibility of integrating various disciplines and not leave that to the students per se. How do we do it? We do it by our curriculum, program design, and innovative pedagogy. So I wish to give an example here. So we have designed a very unique foundation program for all our undergraduate students. So we have 3 schools, so School of Management, School of Engineering, and School of Arts and Sciences. Students from all the schools come together to do this common core called foundation program. So it consists of 4 studios. which are which will kind of shape the world in the times to come. So one of the studios is water. So students come together to do this studio, which cuts across 6 domains, which we feel are the most important domains in say foreseeable future. And those 6 domains are behavior, biology, materials, communication, data science, and constitution and civilization. Now, this program came into effect from 2019. And we are very happy that all the current problems can be solved by applying only these 6 domains. So it makes us happy that what we designed last year kind of passes the test of time today. So I'll give you one example of an activity. So all the students who take this water studio, they have to do water testing. And so there are 24 wards in Ahmedabad where we are located. Ahmedabad is the commercial capital of Gujarat as a state. So there are 24 wards in Ahmedabad city. So the students will form groups of 2 and 3 and go to these 24 wards, collect a water sample from these wards. While they collect a water sample, they will also do a small survey with the residents of that locality and then come back to the university. Once they come back to the university, they go to our chemistry lab and do the water testing. So they use different materials, they use different tests, and they calculate TDS. It's a very simple test. You and me can also do it after 15 minutes of brief training. So they calculate TDS. While a part of the team is doing that, the others would be kind of entering the survey into the sheets, and they will do apply small lessons of data science on these sheets and do an analysis. On day 2, the whole class will present their findings. So just in 2 days with one such activity, students get to learn about biology, because they know what is the water quality, what is good TDS, what is bad TDS. They know the behavior. What happens when they actually go and meet unknown people in different localities, convince them to give the water sample, convince them to take the survey. Lots of behavioral implications take place, and they'll really learn it hands-on. They learn about different materials, where in which material you can collect data, water, where you cannot collect, what happens if the material is wrong. They do data analysis, so they have a good handle over data science. Sooner in their undergraduate program, they realize that gender is a big issue for our country, because they found that when the water doesn't come for 24 hours, or there is not enough water to drink, usually it has to be somebody has to go to a place and get that water. And they found that usually it is the girl child. And this girl child has stopped going to the school because of this water problem. Because if she goes to the school, who will fetch water? They also learn the politics of water. You know, higher the income, lower is the TDS. So just in one activity which lasts for 2 days, they touch upon all the 6 domains in a very, very different way. In a traditional setting, the onus will be on the student to integrate. But at Ahmedabad University, the curriculum design and the innovative pedagogy ensures that integration happens while they learn various domains and various subjects. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So let me also talk about a little bit about the new age careers before I go on to the program and the available options, doing justice to the title of the symposium. So the best way to do it in less time is to give you examples. So I'll give you 5-6 examples of my students from the recent past. So there was a student who did BBA with us. And ultimately, the student developed interest into media and communication. So ended up giving CAT. and then made it to MICA. Today, she is working with Sony Pictures. So she started with undergrad in management, and because of the program design and the choices to the students, she could identify and validate her interest into communication, and ultimately crafted her pathway to get into MICA, and then today she's with Sony Pictures. She's in Bombay and doing phenomenal work. Another example is there was a BCom student who started with CA, switched to management as a career option because he figured out early in the day that I can't do accounting for all my life. Numbers do attract me, but I would like to be on the other side of it. So he gave CAD and made it to IIM Ahmedabad, became the youngest gold medalist there. And today he's working with a boutique investment banking firm in Bangalore. And I'm happy to say that he's drawing much more salary than me. It's a pride for me. There's a student who did BBA with us. Then she went to London School of Fashion and pursued her master's in fashion management. Then she worked with couple of big fashion houses. Now she's working with a consulting firm. And you know what? I mean, my jaws almost dropped when she shared her work profile. So her main job today is to predict the color palette for the next season. So she works for a consulting firm. It's a fashion consulting firm, and their clients are like Giorgio Armani's and Tommy Hilfigers of the world. And they just sit and predict which is going to be the color of the next season. So a BBA student identifying her passion, making it to one of the finest institutions in the world, working with great fashion houses, and now today is those fashion houses are her clients because she's working with a consulting firm. So these are new age careers which we never thought of. I have another student who recently finished BCom from us and then went to IIM Bangalore, and he became the gold medalist there in the last convocation last week itself. I have another student who did BBA with us, went to IIM Lucknow, and today she is working in Bangalore with Amazon. All of us know about Amazon. So the point I'm trying to make is that new age careers don't happen because of the degree you have, but they happen because of the preparation you get and preparation you do. So my humble request is that this is the right time to think about the institution you want to go to. Obviously, you won't get into the institution of your choice always, so you must have plan A, B, and C and work towards it. So if given a chance, you should look for institutions that make you really work hard. Okay, so work hard can come from the curriculum, work hard can come from the faculty, work hard can come from the peers, and work hard can come from your own intrinsic motivation. So look for places, because see, India is a large country with several institutions. There are over 900 universities and over 55,000 colleges. So don't restrict yourself to one city or one state or one geography. Look for good options all over the place, because this is the time for you to build a great UG platform that enables you to get into a good institution of higher learning later, preferably with at least couple of years of work experience between the two, UG and your graduate degree. So one more aspect of Ahmedabad University is that we keep students in the center. So we are very, very high on student centricity. So when I was 17 years old, me and my leadership team, all of us thought that we knew nothing when we were 17 years old, when we are going out of school and joining a college or a university. But all of us knew much more when we were 19 years old. So this was captured, and then we tweaked our design. And today students join Ahmedabad University with undeclared majors. So when we evaluate them as a potential UG student, we don't look at them for a specific program or a specific discipline. we look at them as a potential good UG material, and then we offer an admission. So once the student comes into the university as an undergraduate student, they can choose from as many as 22 majors. And we have changed the narrative of education. Don't come to us for a degree. Come to us to learn a particular subject of your interest and then make it big. So you get up to 4 semesters to choose your major, and the choice of your major will lead to a degree. So if you choose accounting, you will end up with a BCom honors. If you choose entrepreneurship, you will end up with an integrated MBA degree. If you choose from remaining 9 majors of School of Management, you will end up with a BBA honors. If you choose from, say, 7 majors offered by, say, School of Arts and Sciences, you will end up either with a BSc or a BS honors. And this flexibility is available in a limited manner to the students of School of Engineering, because the BTech program still is regulated and the admissions happen either through ACPC or JEE. It's a 50-50. 50% of our students come from ACPC and the remaining 50% come from JEE. So for them, the choices are slightly limited, but they are definitely much more than what they would have in other universities. Now I wish to throw some light on how we handle the admissions. See, we follow a holistic review process. So we are interested in many things that students are doing. So we take into consideration your grades right from your 10th grade. So 10th, 11th, obviously 12th standard we don't have, and it may take more time, but that doesn't stop you from applying and stop us from processing your admissions. So the first component is the academics. Second component is your extracurricular activities. So we are very, very interested in knowing what all you have done till date. You know, it could be as diverse as you play, say you have a passion for music or passion for dance, so you have a Sangeet Visharad, or you have a 6 years in Kathak, or you did phenomenally well in one or the other Olympiad, or you are a shooting champion, so you have excelled in sports, or a spell bee, anything that you have done well or excelled. We have deep interest in knowing that, because it will definitely affect our decision to make an offer to you. So students also have to write a statement of purpose. And we look at these 3 things: academics, extracurricular activities, your statement of purpose, which should be original. And then all the shortlisted students are then invited for interaction. In the work from home setting, we don't call students from Ahmedabad city also to come to our office, but we get on the call with them either via Zoom or Skype and do the interaction digitally. And once these 4 components are done, then the offer of admission is made. So the most frequently asked question is that what if my 12th grade results are not out? What if they take a lot of time? Because particularly the students from, say, international boards, the results come a little late in the day. So we do their provisional admission. Obviously, it is conditional. So students who are in the local boards, we give them conditional admission with a particular target for grade 12. And for the IB board students, we respect the predicted scores, and they have to ensure that the actual scores do not differ much from the predicted scores. So the current challenges will not affect the admission cycle. I'm happy to share with you that we have moved the entire university into distance mode since last 1 week, and we are positioned to complete the current semester on time, and we are hoping to begin the next semester also on time, which is usually at the end of July or beginning of August. So I was given 20 minutes, and I think I have 2 more minutes, and I will sum it up in 2 minutes and then take your questions and answers. See, interdisciplinarity happens at two levels. One is the one which we drive, and the second level is the power to the students. So all the 22 majors that we offer are also offered as minors. So students from, say, students doing a mechanical engineering major with us can do a minor in marketing. Student doing, say, a major in marketing with us can do a minor in psychology. Student majoring in psychology can do a minor in data analytics with us. So these majors are not confined to the schools per se, but they are available to all the students of all the schools of Ahmedabad University. So that is power to the students, and usually we have seen that students are swinging between 2 or 3 major areas. So it's the standard study plan is 8 semesters. So they do at least one internship, preferably 2 internships. They get one major and one minor, and they are all set for a new age career. And the companies are also changing their behavior. 10 years ago, they used to come and say, give us a best candidate with MBA finance or say BBA marketing. Today, they are telling us, give us your best students. Okay, we have a role for all of them. And the recruitments are also becoming interdisciplinary. So a good finance major student can be deployed in marketing area because they also have to do lots and lots of stuff around finance, and vice versa. All good financial initiatives need to be marketed well. I can give you several examples, but respecting the time limit, I would like to stop here and invite you all to apply to Ahmedabad University. All that I have told you is available on our website also. Go to the Ahmedabad University website, click the admission tab, and you will get all the information. If you want more, my email ID is in the public domain. I'll be happy to answer your questions. You can also write to our UG admissions team. Their IDs are also in the public domain. And once again, I thank Team Endeavor Careers to create this platform and help bridge the information gap that has become very acute because of this COVID-19. So thank you very much. I'll be very happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, sir. That was indeed very informative. And because you gave a lot of examples, so I think it's very, very easy to understand that way. And like I was telling the previous speaker, that I really wish I was way back where the students are right now, so that I could start over my career all over again. But coming directly to the questions respecting the time that we have, you mentioned that for any information that the students need, they could refer to our website. So taking it from there, can you please inform us about the important dates for applications? Because I think the website mentions 3rd of April. So just if you can throw some light on the important.
Aditi, that's a good question. So our admissions are rolling. There is no last date. So there are several rounds of admissions. So the current rounds ends at 3rd April. And then as soon as the 3rd April ends, the next round will begin. So we are creating buckets for ourselves to process it efficiently. And thereby these dates are there. So the last date is not 3rd April. Last date for the current round is 3rd April. As soon as the current round ends, the next round will begin.
All right.
So it will go on till at least 31st May.
It's right, sir. We have one question so we have two questions and they are kind of related, so I would just club them. What difference do you provide in 4 years of BBA as compared to 3 years? And the second question is, why should one opt for the 4 years program over a 3 years program?
Okay. Another good question. See, I think this is a frequently asked question. And see, if you interact with any academic across the world, a good undergrad degree or a good undergrad education requires time. So what is the difference between a 3-year BBA program and a 4-year BBA honors program? There are two things make our program very different. One is the 6-month foundation program, and other is the capstone project and the undergraduate thesis. So honors degree has to be really honorable, and we wish that all the students also do at least one internship, preferably in second or third semester, third summer. And all the things that they learn in the first 3 years, they apply in writing the UG thesis or the capstone project, because all the students will not write the UG thesis, but about 20% of them will end up writing UG thesis, and 80% of them will do a group capstone project, which runs around 9 to 12 months, because it's a real industry problem, which is kind of the students group of 2 or 3 will try to solve it and bring it to a logical end in the period of 9 months, and they're evaluated on it. So saying that there is a capstone project and running it with a very high rigor is a different thing. And that's where you need time. So this is serious work. And usually we have seen that these projects and the thesis become a stepping stone to either their first job or the next institution.
Right. Somebody called Saksham Singh, a student, has asked a question saying, what is the difference between integrated BBA MBA and a simple graduation and then CAT and then doing an MBA?
See, as I told, that at Ahmedabad University, the major you choose will define your degree. So we say that if you want to be a job creator and not a job seeker, you go on entrepreneurship track, and that's when you end up in an integrated MBA degree. So it is actually 4+1. So if you do 4 years, you get a BBA honors, but if you choose entrepreneurship track, then you do 1 additional year and also get an MBA degree. And the orientation of the major is towards entrepreneurship and family business management. Versus that, you can do an undergrad with us, and then like several other students, which Endeavor has also helped, giving CAT and then making it to world-class institutions and doing MBA or masters there.
Right. I think we'll take one last question looking at the time. There are tons of questions pouring, and this is really exciting. One question is that is the curriculum in maths at Ahmedabad University at a very high level? I'm sure I resonate with whoever has asked this question.
See, for the new age career, math is definitely required. Because whether you go into psychology or marketing or biological sciences, you can't run away or get away from mathematical models. Okay, you may not be making them, but you will have to deploy them to solve a problem. But don't worry, if you have no math background, we are committed to build that base for you. And we offer at least 2 courses of maths to each and every student, even if you go to School of Arts and Sciences. You have to do 2 courses of math with us, but we understand the sensitivity, because if somebody has avoided maths for a while, it won't come in easy. But students can sequence it in a convenient way. So there is a very systematic academic advising, and depending on your level, depending on your absorption capacity, we will give you a math course at an appropriate time. But yes, 2 courses of math is a requirement to graduate from Ahmedabad University.
Yeah, I think that really clears a lot of questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Parag Patel, for joining us. I think it was an extremely smooth talk, and our students and parents who have joined us would have definitely benefited a lot. Thank you so much for joining on behalf of the entire.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, so taking Symposium 2020 on New Age Careers ahead, we have our next speaker who has joined us from GNLU, Dr. S. Shantakumar. He's the director, So, on behalf of the entire Endeavor team, I welcome you, Dr. Shanta Kumar, to this webinar that we are doing. It's a first of its kind where we are interacting with the students and the parents virtually. And I also virtually welcome you to give your talk here. Um, if I introduce Dr. S. Shantakumar, before joining academia, he had practiced at the Madras High Court for 7 years as an advocate. He has a unique experience of establishing three elite law schools in the country on a self financing mode, and he has been a consultant for a number of upcoming law schools, not to mention the number of publications and the awards that Dr. Shantakumar has received. Um, on behalf of Team Endeavor, I welcome you to take over the screen now, Dr. S. Shantakumar from GNLU, and interact with our students and parents and teachers who have joined us. Meanwhile, also making one small announcement here. If the students or the parents who have joined or the teachers have any questions that you want to ask our speakers, feel free to WhatsApp us on our number, which is 9099 720 214. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Am
Good
I
morning.
audible?
You are, sir. Over to
Thank you
you.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much to the team at Endeavor and especially my friend Satya Mehta for giving me this opportunity to interact with my potential students who will be joining GNLU shortly, and also their parents and the other teachers at these coaching centers. It's a nice opportunity for me to meet all of them and to talk to them about the uh, legal profession as a career and how they need to prepare for it and all those things. Apart from that, I will also be delighted to answer questions if at all parents or students have anything related to law, joining the national law universities and other general questions as well. So not only pertaining to NLUs, but then they may also ask me questions, anything related to legal profession. Say at the outset, I must appreciate those of you who are still staying with this web conference and trying to understand about law as a career option. It was not the scenario a decade back. Law was not a most preferred choice, and in fact, the people who did not get either engineering or medicine would then think about joining a law school. But then currently the scenario has changed. I know that many students, even when they are in 10th standard, when they plan for taking up a group in 11th standard, the group of subjects, what they choose, they keep law as a career choice, and then they start preparing for 2 years. And that is one main reason for a significant change in the quality of legal education, that what is happening in this country. We have students coming with aptitude to study law, and also with great keenness in studying law, and also to getting into some new cutting edge areas of the legal profession. Unlike those days, when, for example, when I graduated, I did not have a lot of choices available, except that going to the court and then joining a senior lawyer's office as a junior, and then start learning things by doing. Apart from that, I never had any other option other than legal practice at the courts, and then maybe a few of my classmates and friends would wanted to get into judiciary, so they started preparing for judiciary. The law firm culture was not there. In fact, the legal profession was not as rewarding as it is today. Financially, I'm talking about. Today, if you can see, a law graduate who is graduating from a good law school, even at the age of 20 to 23 years, he is getting a very, very handsome package, which is comparable to that of the top ranking IIMs and IITs. So that is the level the legal education has changed, and now almost all law schools, good law schools, are competing with each other in providing the highest quality of legal education. And also, currently the trend is not only to cater to the requirements of the Indian legal market and the demands of the people in India, but the trend is moving more towards globalization. And I think you can see a lot of Indian law students occupying premier positions in most of the foreign law firms, maybe in US, UK, or any other country, you name it. All top ranking law firms have a lot of Indian lawyers in it. Globalization has actually opened up a new path for these young law students. So a lot of career opportunities nowadays. You cannot imagine the sector which doesn't have an interaction or an interplay with law. That is the that was the scenario the entire last decade, and now almost every law school is trying to get into a lot of specialty and super specialty areas, like you know. For example, I can talk more confidently about my university at Gujarat National University. Now we have started focusing more on technology and law. So we want law to be very proactive and start regulating the new age technologies like the artificial intelligence or the Internet of Things and or the blockchain, the cryptocurrency, a lot of other technological innovations, even in the fields of medical technologies like surrogacy and other things. So now it's an era of specialization. I think that is where this kind of programs become very important. That students who are participating in such programs, parents who are listening to this, these addresses made by people from different walks of life, they need to know that the scenario is changing completely, and we can't be doing the same thing again and again and expect something change. So that's what Einstein once he said, when he was asked to define insanity, he said that insanity is nothing but doing the same thing again and again and expecting a greater change of results. So that will not happen. If you need to have something different, you need to do something different, and you can't go to a conventional law school and get a LLB degree, and you can't expect much beyond going to the regular courts and appearing for bails and appearing in civil suits and criminal suits. By no means I'm undermining all these things. No, I'm not undermining this. This is also a very conventional legal career which had been there for centuries. Lawyers have always been going to the court, and we had India had produced finest lawyers and finest judges who have been practicing on the civil side, criminal side. So I'm not undermining those people who are practicing in the regular courts in the civil or the criminal side. But then what I am trying to say is that the landscape of legal profession is changing very significantly, and therefore we need to be prepared to go with the change. And therefore it's very important that you need to, while picking up a law school, you need to see that whether the law school is offering a honors degree program. So most of the law schools do not have a honors degree program. The difference between a BA, LLB, a regular and the BA LLB honors, or for any other combination of first degree courses like BCom LLB, BBA LLB, whatever may be the integrated dual law degree program that you will be doing, let it be a honors degree, because you get an opportunity to pick up a choice to specialize, and that specialization is going to help you for your career in future, because this is an era of specialization. People are specializing in very, very, very unique areas where you can't imagine that a law has such areas of practice. So these are this is something which you need to keep in mind when you select a law school. Find out whether the law school is offering a honors degree program, and if they are offering a honors degree program, look for the kind of specializations that they are offering in the honors degree program. Like what kind of, currently young people know that there is a huge demand for corporate law specialization. And now even within corporate law, there are a lot of multiple specialities are emerging, and law schools are coping up with the change in the scenario. So you need to look at the program and the kind of specialization that the law school offers, and in the name of honors degree. And apart from that, you'll have to look at the faculty profile, the kind of background they are coming from, the kind of publications they have, the kind of research work that they are doing. You look into the research culture in the university, because nowadays teaching law is not anymore confined to the lecture methods. Now we are insisting more on evidence-based teaching, research-based teaching, where we encourage not only the teachers but also the students to do research. And by research, it simply means you should keep on asking why. Why is this happening? Why should I do this? Why should I advise my client like this? Why should I draft a petition like this? Why should I argue like this? So this is what we call it as finding the truth, finding evidence in whatever. And this is something which you need to uh, uh, focus on while selecting a law school. You should start exploring, talk to the senior students in those law schools wherever you would want to take advice. Talk to the faculty members there and find out how different they are from the other law schools, and then see that what kind of internship opportunities that they give, because internship is now a very, very important part of law school curriculum. Whatever you study in this 4 months of a semester, you need to go and see for yourself whether whatever you have studied in 4 months in a semester is of some relevance to you or to the immediate neighborhood or the immediate community. And see that whether the knowledge that you have acquired in the law school, you will be able to apply it in a given situation when you go for an internship. And that is why internship becomes a very, very important part of law school curriculum. So you need to see which are the law schools which provide opportunities for you to intern at the best places. So internship is kind of a work experience, because you know that nobody would want to employ you and pay you very highly, especially when you don't have a work experience. So students try and acquire these work experience while they are studying and while they are at the law school for 5 long years. So it's for example, good law schools provide a lot of time for internship. Like for example, GNLU, we give adequate opportunity and more time for students to go and intern. That I feel that has helped us in getting the prime placements, and also our students are most in demand in all the law firms and in all the places wherever they come for recruitment, they always prefer GNLU students over any other law school students because of this reason. It's not that we are teaching them something what other law schools don't teach. We try and teach whatever is the best possible within the given time to complete the syllabus, and with all the constraints during the semester. We do give a quality education to the students, to provide them all opportunities. But exposure to an experiential learning is something which is very, very important. So you guys need to before joining a law school, you need to probe and you need to investigate to find what kind of experiential learning the law school is offering. So experiential learning in the sense, one I said, internship is an experiential learning opportunity. What kind of internship opportunity? Where are the senior students interning? And again, experiential learning, it need not be for 2 months at one place. It can also be, bringing a very eminent person to your classroom with a lot of field experience. Either you take the students to the field to understand and have a first-hand information of things, what is happening, or bring a person who has plenty of field experience to your classroom and ask him to interact with your students. So these are some of the things that you need to find, whether the law school that you are choosing gives you these kind of opportunities to interact with very eminent legal personalities, with the best of the legal brains. Because law for making a career in law, knowledge of law is not the sole criteria. The kind of network that you create, that is also a very, very important thing, that you need to know all these things. So that is why you need to visit a law school. You will have to find it out from the senior students there, from the faculty members there, from the university administration, about what kind of experiential learning, what kind of specialization they are offering, what kind of internship support that they are providing, and also try and compare with the kind of courses that is being taught at various other law schools. And you need to really find out whether the subject is of something which is of interest to you or not. I think this is where uh, these are some of the important things that you need to do, because unlike other undergraduate programs, law is very different, because it's a very long program. It's a 5-year long program, and spending 5 long years of one's life at a particular place, in one institution, is is a very, very important decision. And therefore you will have to be very careful in and cautious in exercising uh, uh, in taking such a decision, because 5 long years of your prime of your age, you are going to stay in a campus, you are going to interact with a set of people, you are going to meet certain people, you are going to do something in that place for 5 long years. So all these things, whether it is going to add value to your life, whether this is going to add some purpose in your life, and whether it is going to add few lines to your CV, all these things you need to really uh, uh, be very careful about before taking a decision of joining a law school. Uh, I think I will stop here, and maybe if there are a few questions, maybe from the moderators or from the parents, from the students, I will be very, very happy to answer this.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Shanta Kumar. We have a lot of questions pouring in because a lot of students and parents and teachers have joined us for this webinar. So I'll get started so that we can cover as many questions as we can. The first one is that GNLU is the only national law school that offers BSW and LLB. So
That's
what is this course, and how is it different from other courses?
Yeah, see you must be knowing the very popular integrated program is BA LLB, right? So almost 99% of the law schools offer this option of doing a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Law integrated program. So interestingly, GNLU is the only law school in the entire country which has this combination of Bachelor of Social Work and Bachelor of Law combination. And this is a very deadly combination. And in fact, uh, uh, because this is the social impact sector is now picking up. A lot of, in fact, most of the law firms who are doing corporate work are now also have started a social impact department within their law firms, where because you must be knowing, like every corporate entity will have to spend some of amount in their CSR activities, the corporate social responsibility. Now, how will they spend this amount? Where will they spend this amount? To whom will they give this amount? These are certain things, and there are the kind of amount which is there in this head CSR funds is huge, and therefore we need lawyers who can handle both these things. Understanding the social responsibility and the way we have structured BSW is very very scientifically done. And not only that, we are drawing on the, and we are not only drawing, but we are also relying on the experience of TIS Mumbai. And that is why recently, few months back, I went to TIS and signed an MOU with them for an effective cooperation. Because I see that most of our students, after finishing their BA LLB or any other LLB program, they go to TIS to do their Masters in Social Work before taking up a legal career and joining a law firm. So this is something which is very unique, and therefore this is a new trend in the legal profession. Apart from humanities, you need to know more about social work, which is very very interesting. And yeah, that's
Right. There's one more question which says, how do you decide which stream will I be admitted to, like BA, BBA, BSc, BSW, BCom? Is it based on the CLAT rank, or will it be decided once I join GNLU?
yes. So you decide, based on your passion, you decide to which of the stream you want to take. We call it as stream papers. So the stream will be decided by you, provided you should have the eligibility also to join that stream. For example, if you have studied humanities in 12th, you can't go for a BSc LLB program. So you need to have studied science. Similarly, if you haven't studied commerce or accountancy, you can't join a BCom LLB program. So likewise, there are certain criteria, but then apart from that, it's the student's choice. CLAT ranking is not the deciding factor. It is you who decide what you want to do.
Perfect. There's one question on the sports quota at
Yeah.
GNLU, because the CLAT form has a provision. So what is the eligibility like? What is the admission procedure there?
See, you can apply for sports quota, and then depending on the number of applicants, we have our own internal criteria to select students based upon their performance in international level sporting events, national events, and what all other achievements they have already had in the sports. And it's decided by a team of experts in the sports field who will call you on a particular date, and they will test your capabilities. And this is done highly professionally in association with the sports university and with the sports department. So they help us in selecting the students. We have 4 seats reserved under the sports quota. And we are getting very, very good sportsmen under this quota.
Right. I think I'll take two more questions. So one question says, do I need to be from PCM stream if I want to join BSc LLB?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. There's one question which says, shall I prefer a better ranked law school with BA LLB over a lower ranked law school with BBA?
Uh, I, uh, I can't get the question. Can you please repeat it again?
Sure. It says, shall I prefer a better ranked law school
Mm-hmm.
with BA LLB
Mm-hmm.
over a lower ranked law school with BBA?
I think, it's always good to be with a better ranked law school because this BBA, LLB, BSc, LLB, and all these things have, for example, as a law, this is something, very confidential, only an internal thing. For us, it doesn't matter. For example, a recruiter coming from a very top tier law firm who is coming to recruit, he will not mind whether you are a BSc LLB or a BBA LLB or a BA LLB. He is going to test your legal knowledge and the legal skills, and then he is going to take you. So this is a first degree requirement. And then what we provide the option is that, if a student who had studied science in his 12th standard, he should not feel uncomfortable reading economics and political science. So we give him an opportunity to study physics, chemistry, and biology, whatever has an interface with law. So that is a convenience what is provided. And in fact, this is not going to decide his career. Whether it is BBA or BCom, it doesn't matter for us. For any law firm with any, no court is going to say, no, you are a BSc LLB student, so you can't argue this case. No.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll take one more question, sir, and then we call it a session. How is the National Law School different from a traditional law college?
Yeah, the things that I told you, number one, the structure of the program itself will be very different. Number one. Number two is, see, national law universities are specialized institutions. Whereas a traditional university, they have multidisciplinary faculty, and for them, law is one subject. But for us, law is the only subject. So the entire focus is on law, and therefore, at NLU, a lot of research keeps on happening about the changes, what is happening in the legal profession, so that we stay most up to date with respect to the demands in the legal profession. And then we have the resources and the flexibility to give the experiential learning, that what I was talking about, to our students, which a conventional university or a conventional law school might not be able to provide.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. I think we've covered a lot of questions and the clock is ticking. So on behalf of the entire Endeavor team, I am really grateful that you made time for this webinar and you spoke with our students, parents, and teachers of classes 10th, 11th, and 12th. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you
a
so much.
wonderful session.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. So as we move forward to our next speaker, who is Dr. Adya Sharma, the director of SCMS from Symbiosis, Pune. There's a little announcement that I want to make here, that since Sir talked about law as a career option, Endeavor is organizing mock CLAT and mock IPMAT tomorrow, the details of which you could find on our website, which is endeavorcareers.com, and our team will be more than happy to assist you. As we move forward with Symposium 2020, I virtually welcome Dr. Adya Sharma and her colleague from Symbiosis. Dr. Sharma has a rich experience of more than 20 years. She's a PhD, NET qualified double postgraduate, and an alumnus of St. Stephen's College. She has a number of case studies and research papers to her credit, and she's also the editor of the book called Marketing Techniques for Financial Inclusion and Development by IGI Global. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the mic virtually to you, Dr. Sharma, as you take over and interact with our students and teachers and parents of classes 10th, 11th, and 12th on the new age career options that are available to them.
Thank you, Aditi. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you, Aditi. I know it has been almost, I think, 1.5 hours, and students and parents must be tired. So we will not take too much time, and I would take this opportunity to also introduce you to my colleague, Vijay. Hi, Vijay. We are meeting virtually. Even before I start talking about BBA, so I represent Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Pune, which is ranked as one of the best BBA institutes in the country. And even before I start talking about BBA, I just want to tell one thing to all the parents and students, especially students. You have plenty of options in front of you for your career, too many. And maybe you will be listening to a lot of people. Please, when you decide what to do in the future, don't do something just because your friends are doing it. Decide because you have a liking for it. You think you will be able to do well in that sector. And then go ahead and find out information from different sources about that sector. And then take a decision based on information. Because when you take a decision based on information, the probability of it being wrong is reduced. And also when you do something which you like, you will do it well. And when you will do it well, you will be the best. Well, let me take the conversation forward and let me now talk about my institute. As I said, I represent Symbiosis Center for Management Studies. We are located at Pune. Let me just open a small presentation. So, is the presentation visible, Vijay?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
It is now.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our campus. And as I said, we are located in Pune. Symbiosis was established in the year 2004. Symbiosis Center for Management Studies. Symbiosis was established in the year 1971. And in fact, we are celebrating our 50 years now. SEM has celebrated 15 years. And it is based on the motto of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. And it is here that we have a diverse community of students who study here, who are committed to high standards of quality, honesty, and ethics. A little about what we do. Academics, we are very serious about academics, and we have a periodic review of curriculum and program structure. What we are very proud of is our cafeteria approach. And you would wonder, what is the cafeteria approach? We very strongly believe that you should have the freedom to study what you like. And therefore, we offer a plethora of subjects, so much so that we are one of the few institutes which allows you to do a dual specialization or a single specialization or a general BBA. So let me explain this in more detail. What does this mean? So we have we have 6 specializations. So we have marketing, we have HR, we have finance and accounts, we have environment, we have international business, and we have entrepreneurship. Now a student can do dual specialization. What does it mean? So I can do marketing with some others, so maybe finance or maybe HR or maybe entrepreneurship. Or I may decide that, no, I just want to do a single specialization, so I will only do marketing. Or I may decide that I want to study subjects from all specializations, and therefore a student can do general BBA also. Even when you take marketing specialization or any other specialization, even there we allow you to choose what subjects to study, you would like to study, and what you do not want to study. Because for us, it's extremely important that a student studies what he or she likes. For that, what do we do? Our first year is a core year. So in the first year, you study all subjects. And why do we do that? Because students come from different areas. So there may be a student with a science background, there may be a student from commerce background, and there may be a student from arts background. Now, we have to get all the students on the same platform, because a student may have never studied economics before, while there may be another student who's not really familiar with accounts. And therefore, in the first 2 semesters, which is the first year, you study all the subjects. That helps us to get the students on the same platform. And then from the 3rd semester, you can choose, you can decide what subjects would you now like to specialize in. Also, when we talk about our pedagogy, we have a variety of things. So for example, MOOC, which is Massive Open Online Courses. We introduced it way back almost 5 years back, and this is part of our curriculum. So our students when they pass out, they don't just have the BBA degree, they also have certificates from the renowned universities across the world. Then COIL, which is Collaborative Online International Learning, or as we call it, virtual mobility. And I think Vijay would be able to explain it better because he's been handling it. Vijay.
Yes, ma'am. So when we look at COIL, Collaborative Online International Learning, what we are looking at is virtual mobility, where students from SCMS and students from another university abroad co-work on projects together. So we decide a module, me and the faculty in the other place, we together decide a module which the students will be studying together. And based on the module, the students interact with each other and come up with a project that they need to submit. The idea here is the student interaction would lead to them understanding the cultural differences, understanding and appreciating the traditional differences, and then working together in different time zones to come up with a project by inculcating all those differences in the project. So the major focus here is student working together with each other in spite of the differences in time and the distance that is there, thanks to something that we call as ICT, Information and Communication Technology. And so far we've covered 2 batches of COIL, and from what we understand, the students have really enjoyed it and they are really looking forward to the 3rd one.
So that's exactly what I was going to say, Vijay. How have been your experience in the sense that how was the experience of students in the last 1 year, both here as well as in US?
In both the places, actually, when we did it the first time, the students were a little unsure, and so were we. But by towards the end of the first session, we realized that this was something different and something very exciting. And when we moved on to the second time, the students were more forthcoming in trying to connect with each other, in trying to work with each other, and trying to build up something that is concrete. So this is something that we've seen, that the motivation is building and they are actually getting excited with every session that is passing on.
I think I'm mute. Hello. Yes, thank you, Vijay. Yes, as Vijay said, this is something which students really look forward to. And most important is that sitting here in India, you interact with students sitting. So we have this tie-up with the US university. You interact with the students virtually in other part of the globe. You work together on a live project and you submit a project report in a group where there are students from India and there are students from US who all work virtually. You attend classes conducted by a US professor. Similarly, the American students attend the classes conducted by Vijay. The whole idea is, as I said at SCMS, is to provide you exposure from different sectors. And these are just some of the ways. So as I said, massive open online courses, whether it is COIL, Google Classrooms is an integral part of most of our classrooms. So we conduct quizzes online. We share. So technology is very integrated when we talk about SCMS. Besides this, we do mock court in class if you're doing a law course. I spoke about MOOC. We have guest lectures from an industry. So we've had dignitaries from various sectors who come and interact with our students and share their experiences with them, because our whole idea is to provide you with maximum exposure. We have industry visits. We have flipped classroom for those of you who are not familiar with this. This is again a way to a type of pedagogy in which we share material with you before the class, and then so that this generates a lot of discussion in the class, because we don't believe in teaching which is one-sided, but a teaching where there is a lot of interaction, discussions, debates, question answers, and we try to do it in all our classes. Yes, case studies from renowned universities. It's not just, so when you do a BBA from SCMS, don't just study management subjects. Of course, you study management subjects. But in the times of today, we also believe that you need to understand other subjects also. So for example, if you are launching a brand, you're launching a product. Great. Yes, you must know about your product. You need to know about marketing. You need to know about finance. You need to know about entrepreneurship and so on. You also need to know about media. You also need to know about law. You may have to take a patent or whatever. And therefore, what we have is an interdisciplinary exposure, which we do it through floating credits, which is basically through our sister institute. Symbiosis International University has a number of institutes. So we tie up with our sister institutes, and you get to study from liberal arts, you get to study from design, you get to study from media. We do foreign languages also. You get to study from law college. Again, as I said, the idea is that you should understand not just management, because you can't work in isolation. You also need to understand the other sectors which support you. Global Immersion Program, or GIP as it is popularly called, is when some students get an opportunity to do a semester abroad. Vijay, would you like to talk about this? This is, so while what Vijay handles is virtual mobility, this is when students actually go to a foreign university. Vijay, over to you.
Right. So in the Global Immersion Program, the students, this is primarily applicable in the fourth semester. When you come to the fourth semester, we at SCMS have identified the fourth semester as the GIP semester, the acronym for Global Immersion Program. The idea is that both the students and we will be aware that this is a semester where we can put in something that we call as the floating credit courses, where the students have the choice of doing other courses like service learning, like the courses from our sister institutes, or go in for the Global Immersion Program, where our students go into our partner universities abroad for an entire semester. We have tie-ups with various universities across the globe, like Berlin School of Economics and Law in Germany, Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, and many more, where and there are three things that the universities offer. They give you a complete waiver, in the sense your entire program, the semester is sponsored by the university, where your travel and stay and everything is taken care of. In the second case, the universities offer a tuition waiver where you pay for your travel and accommodation, but there's no tuition fee that you need to pay. And the third one is it's unpaid. They allow you to come there for a semester, but you need to take care of all your expenses. And in our case, there are quite a few universities that provide either tuition waiver or a complete sponsored program to our students going in from SCMS to the other universities. This is another thing which the students look forward to when they come into the fourth semester, because this gives them a completely different exposure, which not everybody seems to be getting.
Thank you, Vijay. So as I said, the whole idea is to provide you exposure of different sectors in different ways, virtually, physically, other streams, and so on. We also provide, so as part of the curriculum, when our students pass out, they don't just have a BBA degree. We also give them an option to get other certificates, not just online, but we conduct training classes in collaboration with other various institutes. So we do equity trading, we advanced Excel, Green Sigma. These are just some of the classes which I've mentioned. There are many more. And all this obviously is possible because we have a very well-trained, well-qualified, and a very nice faculty. This is my team, that's me in the middle, that's Vijay behind me. So this is, yeah, so this is me, this is Vijay. We are very also proud of the diversity on campus. And when I say diversity on campus, we have students not just from different states of India. We have students from almost all the states of India on our campus. We have students from different countries also. Not only that, we do customized programs for cohorts which keep coming. And I'm just showing you what we've been doing through the years. So in 2014, it was for Afghani students. We did for students who came from Oman. Then a cohort from Deakin has been coming for the last 4 years. And every year we do a specialized training for them. They usually come in November, December, and again, an opportunity for our students. Not many UG institutes offer research at UG level, but we encourage our students for research. And when I say that we encourage our students for research, we have papers like research methodology, where our students are encouraged to write papers and get them published. Not only that, we do brown bag seminars, we hold conferences for them. We provide an atmosphere which encourages them to think about research and do research. So we've had various conferences in 2013, 14. In 13, it was about retail sector. In 14, it was about entrepreneurship. In 15, about the global financial landscape. In fact, our 2015 conference also finds a mention on the RBI website. We've had a finance conclave in 2016, HR conclave, environment conclave, marketing conclave. Again, the whole idea is that students should get an opportunity to interact, to learn from the best. In 2019, it was about international business, and we were honored with the presence of Dr. Naushad Forbes. We want our students to learn from multiple sources, and we provide them with that opportunity. Through the years, different people have been on our SCMS campus, be it from Bollywood, be it from Army, be it from business, be it from literary world, because the idea is that you should learn from everyone. For those who want to know the kind of infrastructure, well, obviously, I mean, this is, we have a beautiful library. We have IT facilities. This is our campus. And that's, you know, that's where our students, this is a playground, a conference room. This is our gym. So on the campus, we also have gym. We have a doctor on campus. Yeah, we have a music room. On our 6th floor, we have this music room where students can go and practice. We have an elected student council. Now, what do I mean by elected student council? It's by proper voting. So students, they campaign, and then we have online voting. And that's a fun period. Nahi, Vijay? I mean, that's a time which is really nice, and that's fun when we see our students campaigning like real leaders and so on. Many student achievements. In fact, I would request you to go on our website, www.scmspune.ac.in, and you will find the various achievements of our students. We have various clubs. So these are just some of the clubs which we have. We have the E-Cell, we have Step Up Club, we have the Drama Bars, which is a dramatics club. Again, so it's not just academics. We encourage you to take part in extracurricular activities. In fact, extracurricular activities are very prominent on the SCMS campus, and invariably or the others, our students are involved in some extracurricular activity. We have SYMPOSUM. For those of you who haven't heard of SYMPOSUM, SYMPOSUM is one of the biggest students' festival organized by the students of Symbiosis Center for Management Studies. It usually takes place in January, and our students, and it's completely handled by our students. It's a team of almost 500 students working over 5-6 months in organizing this festival. And this is where they actually learn to implement whatever they learn in class. It's not just drama and Step Up and SYMPOSUM that our students do. We were awarded the Guinness Book of Certificate for participation for creating awareness among the largest group of adolescents on menstrual hygiene. So again, I mean, what I'm very proud of about the students of SCMS is their ability to contribute to different sectors, and we provide them that platform because we, again, as I said, we are here to provide you exposure. We are here to help you take a decision. We will not take the decision for you because we train you to take decisions. And you can only take decisions when you are aware of different sectors, and that's what we do. So while we have students working for the social upliftment, we have students working on SYMPOSIUM, we have students working on academics, we have students publishing papers. It's a variety of activities on our campus. And obviously the result is we have we have placements of which we are very proud about. I am not sharing the details of the placement over here because I would encourage you to go on the website and see the placements over there. Vijay, can you share the screen of our website? I will stop this share. You can do that. Would you be able to share the screen? I'll stop this. Just try to share the screen of our, yeah. Not possible?
No, I don't think that's possible.
Okay, so I'll just open my screen again. Yeah, so we were here, as I said, if you want to know more details about the placement, do visit www.scmspune.ac.in, and there you will find all the details through the years. You must want to know that how do you get admission? First of all, what is the eligibility? Vijay, would you like to take over?
Yes. So the eligibility for admission is you should have passed class 12th or equivalent course in any discipline from any recognized board, council, or university with a minimum of 50% marks for general or open category and a minimum of 45% marks for the students of SC and ST categories. If you meet the eligibility, then our selection process is two-stage. The first stage is something that we call as a Symbiosis entrance test, which is conducted by the Symbiosis International Deemed University. And it is a test for all India level, where students from across the country are registered for the set exam and give the set exam. In the second stage, every institute, so we SCMS Pune would select students based on a requirement, and the selected students based on your marks in the Symbiosis entrance test will be called for the second stage process, which is the personal interaction and the writing ability test. We do not call it an interview because we're not interested in interviewing students. What we are interested in is understanding the students to see whether they have the right aptitude to be able to undergo the BBA curriculum and do well in the management category. That is what we are trying to understand. We are not really looking, we are looking at the overall personality of the student rather than anything very specific. So that is the personal interaction, the writing ability test. And based on both of these, we bring out our merit list where there is 50% weightage for the set score and there is 50% weightage for the pivot marks that are there. And based on this, if you make it to the merit list, then we send you the admission letters.
And these are some of the dates which you can check on our website also. Let me also talk about our alumni. So you must be good to know, okay, so what after BBA? What do I do after BBA? As I said, you can get placements in various companies, but just to show what our alumni are doing all over the world. So we have Neha Punya, she was a news anchor at CNN News. We have Melanie, who was the editor, thought leadership at The Economist. We have Yudhishthir Rana, who's the vice president, head digital marketing at Citibank. We have Sandra, who's segment producer at Bloomberg TV Canada. We have Aditi Chatterjee and Harsha Ramchandani, who've now got admission, who started a project, a NGO called Urjayati. It was a project to get students back to school. Now, in fact, they are doing their higher education in US. We have Satyam Khandelwal, who was awarded the title of Emerging Education Icon of India. We have Divit Shah, who won a silver medal in the Asian Paracycling Championship in Bahrain in 2017. So again, as you can see, our alumni are also in different sectors. You have alumni in the media, you have alumni in the financial sector, you have alumni in marketing, you have alumni in sports. because as I said, we are here to provide you with exposure. We are here to equip you with the right attitude so that whichever field you go in, you can manage. You become a leader, you become a management person, and you can lead. I think that's all from us. Thank you so much for giving your time. If there are any questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma and Vijay sir, for joining us for the Symposium 2020. There are a lot of questions. I would take some of them, and feel free to answer Dr. Sharma or Vijay sir, whoever wants to take up these questions. So the first question is a generic one asked by a parent. It says, how is the course at SIU different from other BBA and BMS programs, which probably charge lesser fees?
So I think in my whole presentation, that's what I touched upon. However, I'll touch it upon again. Um, I'll just talk about how are we different. As I said, we are here to provide you exposure to different sectors. So we are one of the few BBA institutes which, yes, we definitely teach you business and management, that's our core. We help you learn from other fields also. When our student of BBA passes out, as we said, he just doesn't have a BBA degree. He may also have a certificate from some massive open online courses. He may have done COIL. He may have gone for global immersion program. He may have equity trading certificate. He may have another certificate on Green Sigma. So we help you to strengthen your personality, your resume by providing you exposure to different things.
Right. I am just taking the liberty to merge a couple of questions which are similar in nature. And that's about the admission process and the probable start dates and the entrance exams. So, in the midst of this pandemic or the lockdown that we are right now, is that going to affect the dates or the entrance exams, or for that matter, the admission process in any way?
So, yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, the world is facing a, a virtual earthquake and a viral earthquake, as I say. It's facing a viral earthquake. Yes, looking at the situation, if we are looking at the situation very actively, and if required, if the need arises, we will definitely take a decision to postpone our entrance test. That process, that discussion, those meetings are on. And as and when we take a decision, we will immediately let people know. As on date, the dates remain the same, but in this fluid dynamics, yes, we are looking at those possibilities of postponement, and if we do, we will be informing immediately.
Right. And all these updates can be found on the website.
Yes, immediate. I mean, they will be released in the press, they will be on the website, they will be informed to the students. So parents and students need not worry about that.
Perfect. Just taking that conversation forward, because we are talking about the current situation. There's one question which says that you talked about a lot of global immersions and exchange programs and placements and internships that happen probably even outside India.
Yes.
Do you think that would be affected because of COVID-19 in the near future?
I am very, very positive, and I hope this COVID-19 goes away soon. Having said that, see, I also spoke about COIL. I mean, yes, I spoke about Global Immersion Program, but we also have COIL. So if a student cannot physically go out, that does not, we ensure that students do not suffer under any circumstances. And if the circumstances are such that you cannot go out, we have, I don't think many institutes across have COIL, where you sitting here, you still virtually interact and work with the students in another country. So we have options. Placements, well, if placements are affected, I mean, placements would be affected for India level also.
Right.
Right. I mean, that is something which will happen across all institutes if they are affected. But I believe that slowly, gradually, things will get normal. But please don't worry. I mean, we are working on, we have MOOC, massive open. Even now, as I'm talking to you, my faculty is conducting online classes, conducting online vivas, giving online assignments. So our interaction with our students have not stopped. We are working on helping our students how to look at internship, because we also understand right now they cannot go for being physically present. We are looking at those options.
Yeah, I think that's amazing how we have already found alternative options for
See, look,
this webinar.
yes, exactly. I
So yeah.
mean, so, and you know, honestly, when we found COIL, we had no idea that COVID is going to strike, because we've been doing it for almost a year now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A slightly off the topic, but I see a lot of people asking about the School of Economics. So can you just touch upon it a little bit, if that's possible?
I would not be the right person to touch upon it. Yes, Symbiosis School of Economics. So I can talk about the Symbiosis International University has various institutes. We have different faculties, and Symbiosis School of Economics is also one of our institute. Like all Symbiosis Institute, it's academics is a forte, and see, there are certain common things which run across all Symbiosis institutes. So on that, which runs across in SSE also. Academics is extremely important. Students' choice is extremely important, but I'm not the right person to talk about SSE. But you can write on all the Symbiosis institutes, you find contact details. And if you call up or if you write, you will definitely get replies.
That's amazing. I'll take one more question, and it's about the future careers that the students should opt for. So it goes something like this. Will you guide on future career options in courses? Because we do BBA or MBA, and there are so many options and dynamic business changes. So which jobs should we ideally pick?
So you mean to say when you're doing BBA, then do we guide?
Yeah, so ideally, what jobs should a student opt for after they get done with their degrees?
So we have a very comprehensive process, you know, where we have a placement team. And this placement team, it just doesn't help you in getting the placement in terms of calling the companies and scheduling your interviews, etc. Before that, we groom our students. So we have sessions where we tell them how to build resumes. We have sessions where they interact with experts from the industry and who guide them whether these are the coming careers or these are the careers which jobs you should look at. We have sessions where we groom them how to take part in discussions, how to take part in how to give interviews and so on. And then we go ahead and call the companies and schedule everything. So there's a very comprehensive process in which helps the students decide that what jobs they should take up, or whether they want to go for higher education, or whether they want to start their own business, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for the questions. I have a lot of them pouring in, but like you mentioned, the staff and the teachers are approachable. So for all the updates, the parents and the teachers can visit the SEMS website.
Please, yes, and you can go to our contact thing, and you will find an email ID over there. You will find landline numbers, which right now obviously nobody will pick up because the college is closed, but there's a mobile number over there. You can call on that mobile. Even now, that mobile number is operational. Okay. So you can call on that mobile number. You can write on the email IDs. Give us 2 or 3 days, and you will receive your replies.
That's amazing. Any closing note from Vijay sir, maybe, or ma'am, if you want to kind of wrap
Vijay,
that thing up?
The stage is yours.
Virtually, yes.
Huh?
No, I think we have sort of covered almost everything for the students and parents. Like you said, ma'am, if they have any queries, they can visit our website, www.scmspune.ac.in. And if they have anything that is not cleared on the website, then of course we have the contact details on the website, and they can write to us or call us on the mobile number that is there. and we are definitely sure that in 2-3 days their queries will be solved.
Vijay, most
And
probably
any
we
updates
should.
that are there will first.
Nahi, bol. Say na. Then I'll. Yes.
Now, I was saying if there's any updates that is there, that will be first available on the website and everybody would be informed, like you said, ma'am.
Perfect.
Yes.
Over to you, ma'am.
I think all know, Vijay, I think all we'll say is that, come to SCMS, visit SCMS whenever things are okay. It's fun. It's a fun place. Nahi, Vijay? We really like being there. We are missing our institute so much right now. And
that was actually visible on your faces when you showed the infrastructure and the pictures.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see you. Look at the way we are just interacting as if hamara hi conversation chal raha hai.
No, it's amazing. Thousands of people have joined us, and I'm sure this will benefit them a lot. So thank you so much, Dr. Sharma and Vijay sir, for joining us on a
Can I just tell students one more thing, if it's allowed?
Please do, of course.
Please stay at home. Please follow social distancing. Please keep please wash your hands with soap. And don't worry, we are there. I'm sure the situation will improve soon, but we will find alternatives and we are there for you always. So just don't worry. And yes, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It was a wonderful session to end the entire symposium with. And looking forward to speaking with you again.
Sure, Aditi. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Aditi.
sir.
Bye.
Yeah. For everyone who has joined us for this live session, we would want maximum 10 minutes more from all of you. Symposium 2020 on New Age Career Options by Endeavor Careers. What's amazing is that apart from this symposium, which is first of its kind happening online, where we are interacting with teachers, parents, and students of various classes, 10th, 11th, and 12th on career options, and we got speakers from IIM Indore, Symbiosis Pune, Ahmedabad University, GNLU, and all of our Endeavor faculties are also available to solve your queries, confusions, anxieties if you have. Before we call this a session, there is one important announcement that I want all the students to take note of, which is the online symposium that happened today. All the people who attended need to take note that mock CLAT and mock IPMAT are also happening tomorrow. You could get all the details for the registrations, what happens next, why you should take these mocks on our website, which is endeavorcareers.com. All the details are available there. Apart from that, like ma'am mentioned in her closing note, that please stay indoors, but at the same time, don't give up on your preparations. There is a beautiful campaign that Endeavor Careers has come up with. It's called Rise Up and Shine. Don't let any pandemic, any COVID-19, any virus disrupt your preparations. All our courses are available online, and there are some interesting offers going on as well. One-stop solution for all your queries is the Endeavor website. So we'll see you there. But before I call it a day and I let you enjoy your weekend, there is a beautiful video that Team Endeavor has prepared. That would be on your screens in another 2 seconds. Or maybe 3 or 4. It's just about to play. Just stay tuned because this is the last part. There you go. Yes. So rise up and shine, people. Just don't give up. We are in this together. We are in this together indoors. So thank you so much on behalf of the entire team Endeavor for joining us this morning for Symposium 2020 on New Age Careers after class 12. I call it a day and I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, stay indoors. Dream, endeavor, achieve.